Good morning, Interdimensional 5D, Lisa here. If you go to sleep at night and you wake up and you feel like you've done something, more than likely you have. We consider this that you're part of the army of the Lord or you're part of the army of the bad guys. Either way, I'm talking to you. These theorems are based on Dolores Cannon's work, reading my Bible, and my personal experiences. So today I'm going to talk about some serious personal experience, okay? Because this is what's going on with me, and I'm going to put this in that editing black magic and put a reading at the end of this, because every morning I get up, I pull cards for the energy of the day. um, and the cards are about a personal experience, and I think I effectively explain it, but this is what's happening to me. And it's really interesting. I feel like God has put me into this dream time to just experience a lot of this stuff, and it's coming to a closure. And a lot of what I'm saying to you, I think there is a court case that will expose this. It might take a bit of time to trickle down, and they're really working hard to keep this under wraps because it involves groups of people from other countries peering into American citizens' homes and fucking with us via witchcraft, okay? So, and then they get into your dream time. And I've been pulled into the dream time. I actually have connections. You can laugh at me out in space through the Federation. I got to see what, when we sit and monitor people, we're not looking at screens like this. We have headsets on, and it's not like ears and eyes. It's actually something that sits quite elegantly in a way on your head, and it's very breathable. And we look at things, and it goes right into our heads. When you get through into that kind of experience up in space, then you can monitor space stuff. And that's what 5D is space stuff, okay? Um and it can filter through. They can actually come through in your dream time and do stuff. Now, last night I had an occurrence, and I didn't realize how long in my lifetime I've been affected through the dream time. Um, as far back as a little girl, I have some heinous memories that are significantly been repressed, and I think up in space they've deleted some of my memories, and because they were so traumatic. Um, when you realize certain people have been I've been having kind of a relationship with somebody, and 5D space should be able to be utilized for that, where divine connections are made. And this is what upsets God very much. And there's people holding that back, and big giant groups of people. And I'm a regular person, okay? And I have helped somebody who is kind of a muckety muck, okay? And I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me. It's like I stumbled on this shit. And in a way, the stumbling on of it was purposely orchestrated in some bizarre fashion. And so this person and I have gotten to know each other, but it's just been shown to me through the dream time, and I have to pull back and say, hey, we can't do this anymore, and here's the reason why. So all those people I named insert themselves in and tell this guy, well, I've had a relationship with her. I don't know these people. I might have named them as names because they're fucking with me in the dream time. You can look at my records, my money records. I haven't flown up to see. They haven't flown to see. And if they did bad stuff to me via my ex husbands. I was human trafficked by my ex-husbands. I do believe this is what Spirit's showing me. Anyway, the message was to, and I guess if I say this stuff, they see it up there too in space, to the moon, Celeste, and whoever portrays the moon in my card pulls, that this comic is on the edge. I'm being boxed in. I'm boxed in on my YouTube channel. You can tell the numbers. I know 4 people have subscribed to Arcadia Speaks, and yet it says 0 subscribers. And Spirit tells me these messages get out there, Lisa, don't worry about it. So I don't. And I walked away, fear, first, second husband, and now first husband is getting into my dream time and doing disgusting things and putting it out there as if, because I'm close to him now because my daughter thinks she's trying to help him, but he's actually trying to rob her. And I'm here being the barrier. And so now they're putting it out in space that I'm having triple sex with them. They're 80-something years old. That guy's disgusting. And I'm very particular. They've thrown a young man into my face, and I'm very particular. I just don't give it away. But in the dream time, they're making it look like, and I didn't realize this was what's going on. I knew people were inserting themselves and being in it, and here I know this is despicable and disgusting, but I was awakened last night and had to get up out of the bed because it actually felt like somebody was putting some plastic tubing up my rectum. And I'm not into that stuff, okay? But those two are, they're weird. Anyway, when those two get into my dream time, and they're disgusting, and I think their whole paradigm and everything about their life is disgusting, and they've robbed me completely in cahoots with my family, I have to say to Victor Radcliffe, I can't do it anymore. I'm boxed in. I'm hanging on by a thread, and I can't allow the idea that even that I'm a 5D trollop, because I'm not. So I have to end it here. I know I've said I'm going to end this channel at some point, and I really need to think about what I say and what I don't say, because the bad guys are gaining traction, and I don't know that the good guys are. Although we're out there, we fight. People, you have no idea what goes on in the dream time. Okay? Some of us get quite battered and bruised and do stuff that's amazing, and then experience things like this and come and tell you, be mindful. If you get that dream every night and you don't like it, you need to pull back and ground, cleanse, dip yourself in the ocean, do the water cleansing stuff. I think I've talked about it plenty. And what they do is, if you feel like you're absolutely boxed in and stuck, and you'll see it in, I'm going to attach the reading, and I'm also going to put it up on Arcadia Speaks as well. But I'm going to attach that reading. I kind of work it backwards and let you know. If even sexually, if you're having repeated sexual dreams and you think you're seeing somebody over and over again, that person is effing with you. Okay? Even if it's a famous person, okay? Don't think you're crazy. They're into you and they're effing with you. And then you have to pull back and ask God, why? What is it about me? What do they want? Do they want something? Is it sincere? Is this just a play to keep me thinking I'm crazy? I mean, because they do that. Okay, and I have written, every now and then I write down things that comes to me. They using shadows to create fear. And being aware of it. Awareness is key. Okay? I'm going to read some of these things I keep around. It is our ability to visualize and create that enables us to operate efficiently in the whole 5D experience. So if they're doing sex magic at you, which they do, it's disgusting. And I finally had enough. When you see nipples over and over and over again, somebody's doing sex magic at you. It's enough. I've had enough. Over a man I've never met. Over men I've never met. I've never met the people I named on one of those videos that I took off. I've never met any of them. Okay? And then they want to play like I'm like this big fornicator with personalities. And it's just, that's the bizarrest thing I've ever seen. If you look at my money records, I can barely afford to go from here to there. So how does that happen? I don't have a passport. But I'm assuming there's a bunch of people with my identity who do have passports. So what does a person do when they're completely excommunicated? I've never been non-hireable before. And now I'm 68, so it's like, am I hireable? Is the whole world just, she's old, she can't do anything, and that's what this is about? I'm confused. I'm totally confused. But anyway, I did pull some cards about it after the point because they said get out here and talk further about it. To Victor in particular, if you've seen images of me doing sex whilst we were together, and they put them in your mind that I'm with Martin Brusque, or I'm with, the Golden Bugler, or, Frenchie Fauntleroy, I could come up with a whole bunch of names. How? Ask you, you've taken all my money and my ability to make money. A friend of mine is stealing my Social Security. My sister's got my fucking trust fund. So how am I doing? How am I meeting these people? They've got me boxed in that I can't move. I can't move and can't do anything. And I'm hanging on by a fucking thread. So I'm closing 5D for a while. And if I get out here and talk, it's because Spirit wants me out here. So they know you are not going to break this woman. It's not going to happen, people. It's time for you to stop playing the game. And then there's this Sapphire Hangington. Lisa. And then he lied to me that he was divorced from her. So now I don't know his part. I have no idea what part you play, if you're a good guy or bad guy. And that's the whole point of this. So that if Victor was to come forward, I would be like, whoa, wait a minute, And I probably will, whoa, wait a minute. It has to be that way. Because I don't know. I don't know what's real from truth. And that's where when they tell you, be careful of the 5D loop, that's what you're getting into. You don't know whether it's real or not real. Right? And there are people out there with abilities the likes of which you can't fucking imagine. And that's the other thing they're holding back from us. But to me, my major concern is, why are people from foreign countries allowed to put CCTV cameras in American people's homes? That needs to be exposed, and I hope it does. I hope somebody has the guts to make that public. Because a lot of this bullshit they're putting out there in the media and stuff about Iran, Taliban, and then religiosity and all this fucking bullshit. Oh, school shootings and this, that, and the other. Take our guns away. No, it's people with too much money playing a game and trying to pull America down and keep Americans struggling. And I hope that gets exposed. Because we're some of the strongest fucking people in the world, in my personal opinion. And that's what they hate about us. Is we have our independence. We have our fucking freedom. We just have to stand up and take it. You know what I mean? Not in terms of fighting. You just have to say, I'm free. You can't do anything about it. No, I'm not giving you my guns. And no, it's time for us to take over what's being passed in laws and said, it's time for the media to the rug needs to be shook out. I'm sorry, they keep me down for this. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's true. I'm not going to be a subject to the crown. And if you want to be a subject to the crown, I'd rather put that crown on Donald Trump, and I know that's going to make so many Democrats freaking weird out. Where does it come that Democrats and the Republicans hate each other? That's never been a thing. And maybe the two-party system needs to be thrown away. Maybe our whole system needs to be eradicated and shook up and seen to reformat it. Because nobody lives like they did 200 years ago or 300 years ago or 2,000 years ago. That these fucking flat earth society bullshit artists want to take us back to feudal times. I'm sorry. I personally am going to say something about it. No, I'm not going back to feudal times. And I think there's a lot of other people who have finally put their foot down and say, no, we're not going back. We want to go forward. And if you can't do it and this technology is fucking everything up, let's rethink the technology. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on that diatribe, but I did. But anyway, I asked why she keeps calling my name. And it was, the light. It's to put a heavy burden on the light. And so the king will be tied to the devil. And so the Ace of Cups to grow, the Ace of Cups to grow and be merry with, will end and it'll never happen. And so when you hear somebody saying your name over and over again, they're keeping you from focusing. They've seen you as a light. They're keeping you from focusing. Anyway, I'm not going to go on and on too much about that. But I do want to say the cards pulled last night that the person called the McGregor has had their heart weighed. And yay. Yay to you. That's not their name in real life, in our real life. Is that okay that I said that? And they said, yeah. Anyway, peace out, everybody. What you experience in the dream time can affect you in the real life. Be mindful. Always ask the angels to protect you. Pray. And take some moments in meditation and ground and get in touch with reality. Because they'll drive you nuts out there. Okay? And it takes a very strong mind to not capitulate. To not do too much drugs, to not put that bullet to your head. It takes a lot of work, especially when you got people who are practiced at making you want to kill yourself. And that's what I'm fighting. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Remember, I think you're amazing, and I absolutely love you, and attached after this will be the reading that I go backwards on that inspired this video. Have a good day now. Bye. Good morning, everyone. It's Lisa here. This is Arcadia Speaks. I have already said my prayers. I'm going to jingle some bells. I've been making some shaman bells. Clear the energy. I'm going to go in reverse of a reading for you, but they want me to talk about this. These tarot readings are specifically for people who know they operate in the dream time. If you go to sleep at night and you feel like you've done something at night, either you're taking care of babies or you've been looking at a screen or you've been out there fighting in space, these tarot readings are for people who know they operate in the dream time. And this reading pertains to a situation I'm involved in the dream time, and they want me to share it with you so you can know how dangerous it is to play in certain purviews of the dream time. Now, when you work for the army of the Lord, we battle powers and principalities and high places, okay? And when we say that, on this 3D level, there are people who have a lot of money, wealth, and power. Now, when those people take charge of groups of people and then they actually turn them into witchcraft groups in which they focus on people to either build up or destroy, okay? Now, this is an example of destroying somebody's life, okay? And there's a million ways to do that. When they are wealthy enough to put CCTV cameras in your home, and then they can manipulate your energy, and there's energy weapons that were crafted by former politicians, and they use those in conjunction with witchcraft. And if they know you're starting to operate in the dream time, then they will operate in the dream time. So here's what's been going on. I'm going to explain this reading. I'm going to do it in the backwards. This was a reading I asked Spirit to kind of enlighten me to some things that are going on. The birds are out there talking. I don't know if you guys heard that. At any rate, I've been speaking to somebody. I have been engaged in sexual activity in the dream time with a specific individual. Now, unbeknownst to me, and within the dream time, there's your capacity to hook up with people you don't know, okay? And you're dealing with higher energy life forms, people who are aware, awaken, and operate within the spiritual dream time. Now, a lot of people out there are very wealthy, very powerful, and they have the money, time, and opportunity to learn things that regular individuals, we have to work so hard for our everyday conveniences that we don't have the time to dabble and play in the spiritual realm. Now, one of the things they can do when you are with a specific person, like I said, 5D is kind of like doing anything on a subway platform, okay? And then you can call in, block your space, ask the angels, I ask Lord Morpheus, lock it in. A lot of times we can lock it in. But here's what's been happening. So I'm with this person, and then this person gets visions of me being with so-and-so. And then the next time, instead of he's not with me, he's with somebody else. And then I'm with somebody else, and I'm with somebody else, I'm with somebody else, to where this guy thinks he's not having sex with me. He thinks he's seeing me have sex with a myriad of men. And that's what's been happening. So now I'm being told to close that dream time access, the loop. When you hear any tarot readers out there tell you to be careful of the dream time loop, it's because you're into something that's going to repeat over and over again, and you need to break the pattern. You need to stop it because it's going to end up bad. Now here, because of this reading, somebody of great power is going to call judgment of the group that's decided to win at all costs. And they're trying to make somebody who doesn't do the things they think they do, they're trying to make somebody look like what they're not, okay? Somebody who's going to become wealthy, they want their beginning to really be shit. But that person's got a beginning that's guaranteed because they've got a whole bunch of ancestry. And quite frankly, trying to manifest and wait for a love offer. Okay? And that's what this particular person is waiting for. And it's out there. It's out there, and it's being played with. And when tarot readers talk about there are people trying to keep light workers apart, they're trying to keep earth angels apart, they're trying to keep the chosen from meeting each other, and they're trying to keep divine masculines from divine feminines, okay? When they do that, the reason for it is when two people who are supposed to be together come together, their just being elevates everything around them, okay? And these people who are in control and power right now are in dreadful fear of that. They can't have too many divine unions on the planet, because then the darkness disappears. It's literally that simple, okay? So here we have the Queen of Wands, who is a loving, amazing person, right? They want her in constant regret and to never share with this person they consider the sun. And their whole motivation is to win at all costs and to bring this person a broken heart and to keep them from being stable and growth, okay? They definitely want one person to not be stable and growth. And I believe out there's a court trial that will prove and can prove that very thing. And on this was the basic part of the reading. They wanted me to use my throat chakra to speak to the moon. That the comic, because I personally have a comedic personality, I've connected with me as a medium with Robin Williams, and I'm being boxed in and I'm holding on by a thread, okay? And once again, money's being withheld officially to keep me in a state where I can't move forward with money, and they want it ended. I mean, this is really freaking obvious, and it's been going on for more than 2.5 years. And so the message was to my friend out there that the comic is boxed in and holding on by a thread. I'll get the same emails every day, so it looks like my phone service is working. I get the same texts every day. You know, they're spam texts, you know, and somebody's got a finger on the button. So it's real obvious someone's got a finger on the button on my channels, since I know 4 people have subscribed in real life and then it's not shown on my website or my channel. So I know these messages get out there. So the comic is boxed in and holding on by a thread. And I'm just waiting for them to do the one thing they shouldn't do, which is try to end me officially. And that's why, people, I'm out here doing what I'm doing, because I'll be real honest with you, to a certain extent, I've never been unemployable. And I'm actually a little bit scared. I'm not gonna lie. But I know my abilities and my talents, so I'm not that scared. And I walk with God, so don't walk in fear every day, because I know angels surround me, and I know somebody out there has the proof of it, and that proof, you with the proof, are holding me back from making money from it. You shouldn't be making money, you rich son of a bitch. I should be. Now, I'm going to pull some boom booms and a word for the day, since this is kind of this will be for you guys, you know, whoever's watching. Now, I hope this is not happening to you too. The word for today is generate. See what I can generate today. I'd like to generate work. I really would. And the yellow in the background, soul work would be good. Now, I had a gig set up for today to cleanse somebody's space. And of course, suddenly that person is ill, right? So the gig's not there. That's what these people, once they get into you, your energy, they can manipulate and control circumstances around you. So be very, very mindful of your time in the dream time. And I have to talk to the Lord and the angels to see, how are we supposed to progress forward with it? Okay? That's what my work is about today. Remember, remote viewing? It's constant, people. once you know you operate in the dream time, you're going to be looked at by so many people, it's not even funny. And the Truman Show thing is real, and it's hard to deal with, okay? Okay, I'm just going to put that here. Now sometimes I hear they're saying to me, sometimes God lets people see in because it's the beginning of maybe a divine relationship, and it doesn't necessarily mean sexual, but friendships, collaboration. That's really what they plan on this to be, but it's like it has really turned dark because there's a lot of wealthy people out there who think they're God. They think they're God, and these people have played the voices of the angels, they have emulated God, and they're in trouble for doing that. Okay? They think there's no judgment, but there is. Okay? Don't think for 1 minute that anything you do in the dream time is not recorded and being viewed. So we got a partnership. It's just danger. There's scripting going on. Memory input. Unexpected blessing. Divine masculine. A siren is not a mermaid. Crown downloads boundaries. And it's unfathomable. Now let's see how we should put this all together. I definitely hear that the partnership is in danger. Oh, Sean's given the warning. There is scripting going on in the memory input part. There are crown downloads going on. And they want you to remember a siren is not a mermaid. Unfathomable goes there. And you need to have boundaries. There will be an unexpected blessing through a crown download to a divine masculine. So there is a partnership in danger. They're playing with memory via scripting. So there's the message for the collective today. I hope this helps somebody today. I hope it helped you realize that to be careful in the 5D space, because that's my objective for sharing my story with you today. Anyway, peace out. Be well, everybody. Bye now.